All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ESEA ESL Pro League Season 2. We're going to be starting off this evening with a barn burner on Overpass. It's going to be Luminosity facing off against compLexity. My name is Mega Man, and joining me is the one and only J. Moses O'Toole.
What's going on?
I'm ready to rock and roll, man. It's been a little stagnant over here. I haven't been casting as much as we usually do because all of these overseas tournaments that have been going on. So it's going to be back in the saddle
for you.
Yeah, a little bit. So I'm ready to flex the golden pipes, per se, and bring some action tonight. I'm really looking forward to it because we got a lot of matchups to cover this evening. We actually are going to be doubled up at one point, so the ESEA 2 channel is going to be covering a secondary match, I believe, coming around, 8 p.m. Central?
It's at, 10 o'clock Eastern, is it?
Maybe that's what it is.
11 Eastern. So
okay.
it's going to be 10 Central, where there's two matches. So we will have that second stream going, and that's going to be Blue and I think Holden.
Yeah. Holden's going to be strapping on the big boy pants and stepping up in front of the cameras. Well, maybe not the cameras, but at least behind the microphone for the little bit of action this evening. So I'm looking forward to that. Let those guys rip it on the other channel while we bring you guys some pretty solid coverage, because we're starting with Luminosity facing off against compLexity, and then the next matchup that we're moving to, I believe, is going to be the Cloud9 matchup. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, I'm pulling the schedule up. So it's going to be Cloud9 and Winter Fox is that second match. That's going to be on Dust 2. And then third is going to be Cloud9 versus Follow eSports. We have a doubleheader of Cloud9, who are sitting at 2-0 right now. And then doubled up is going to be Winter Fox and Follow eSports, and 3-sub versus Enemy GG. Those are both at 11. Those will end the night as well. So that's going to be the lineup for tonight. But to open things up, we have the Brazilians.
Yeah. And they've looked relatively good recently as well. I mean, the overall fragging power, having Fur, I mean, just another absolute headshot machine over there. And then Cold, their newest acquisition to that roster, has been stepping up in a big way lately as well. A lot of firepower from those two with Fallen at the helm. And they've been doing a sensational job so far. Cold being a very versatile kind of hybrid player. We see him rifle to great avail. We see him pick up the AWP and double up with Fallen from time to time as well. So he's kind of a jack of all trades here, and he's been doing it extremely well.
I think the big thing for Luminosity is they got top 8 at the major, so they've just been chilling. They've had some time off. They didn't have to worry about going to Sweden to play in the qualifier. They just got to sit at home and watch and just hang out. So that's the big thing for me, is just no stress of having to worry about qualifying for that major. They just get to work on some things. They have some time off to go back to the drawing board, fix some issues that they might have seen that they have, and they get to come into the season strong. And I believe they're 1-0 right now. So going forward, they're in a good place to start this season out.
Yeah, I believe their first matchup that they played was against 3-sub. I think that was actually on Overpass. Maybe I'm mistaken on that one. I'm going to alt-tab Arena real fast and take a look.
Cash. It was versus 3-sub, but it was on Cash.
That's what it was. We had another matchup that was, yeah. There you go. So yeah, they won 16-6 against 3-sub on Cash, and it was actually Cold and Bolts that were doing work for their squad. Obviously, Fur was in the mix as well, but Bolts went 20-11, actually had the highest average damage per round in that matchup too. Cold 23-10. So really fragging all over Fallen. He was 11-8, but we talked about it during that matchup. I said, it's kind of frustrating not getting kills, because obviously you want to get frags, because that's a good thing, but you kind of denounced that by saying with Fallen being the IGL, he's loving that because he doesn't have to do anything. His team's, everything's clicking, everything's working, and they're just on cruise control.
Yeah, and talk about cruise control. It's just kind of the same as last season, where Fur, I mean, you mentioned his fragging power, right back at it. Last season, he was, pretty much top 3 in most stats throughout it. And this season, I mean, they're only one match in. It's still very, very early on, but he's number 1 in Pro League in ADR, which is average damage per round. He's at 96. He's number 2 in FPR, which is frags per round. He's number 1 in total frags. Or this is actually last season, excuse me. This is not this season.
Yeah,
so those
currently,
stats... Currently
this season he's 3rd on his
team.
Yeah,
well, that's because also they're only 1-0, so they've only played one match, and like the other teams as well. Some of these other teams have played already 6 matches, 5 matches in some cases. So I mean, they have a lot more statistics to go off of. But last season, that was his stats. Impressive player for sure. And then they're going up against compLexity, who, I mean, they're pretty interesting. You can see Warden's in the server right now. He's obviously not a player; he's their coach. And I had a little chat with him last night. They've gone that whole route of he's going to be their full-time in-game leader. He's calling all the strategies on defense, on offense. It's not on Valen's shoulders anymore. So, I mean, they're coming into this. They're all going full-time into this Counter-Strike now, and trying to make things work. And he's given his players, trying to alleviate some of that calling pressure.
Yeah, and I can definitely see how that can be beneficial to him as well, because Valen's, a lot of the times that we've seen him in the past, is Valen's a little bit below the rest of his team just based off of individual performance, because he's got that IGL role. You typically say that your IGL isn't necessarily the strongest fragger on your team because they've got a lot more to focus on during the round as opposed to just shooting people in the head. Now, with Warden taking the reins in the back, they're going to be able to at least have Valen step up a little bit more, hopefully on the fragging power. And that should definitely help them overall, especially with the acquisition of putting Roka on the squad, bringing Sanks into the team as well. They do have the firepower to be extremely successful. It's just a matter of putting it all together here.
Yeah, we actually saw compLexity last night, 2 matches back-to-back. They won in overtime, 2 very, very close matches, had to make some comebacks, and I believe it was on Cobble they made a comeback to force overtime. But, this is the thing. They struggled very, very much so on their CT sides last evening. And like Luminosity, they're not a team that you want to let have success on their offense because these guys are just explosive. They're going to come in and just bully. And, we talk about Fur, how good he is at fragging. Like, these guys are really good at opening up bomb sites. They're really good at trading as they enter bomb sites, and they're very strategic in how they execute onto the bomb site. So having a weak defense against these guys, especially at Overpass, which last season was one of their stronger maps last season. So I mean, this is kind of a dangerous spot for a compLexity team that's still getting used to having Roka come in as a new player. I believe it was Sanks that came back, or Automatic. One of them was away last season and came back into the roster, transitioning into Warden as a shot caller. Their defense is very much reliant on their economy because Semphis with the AWP is kind of that pin for them. He's what holds everything together. He's the glue on defense.
Yeah, he's really got to be able to anchor down those bomb sites and enable his teammates to be successful elsewhere. And we'll probably see him playing in that A bomb site with the AWP again. And obviously, he's going to be going toe-to-toe with Fallen's up on the Luminosity side. If we do get to see that much, who knows? Depending on this knife round, depending on who gets the opening advantage to pick that CT side, that coveted CT side, because this map, with the changes that they've had, has become a little bit more even, but you still see a reasonable amount more rounds on the CT side than the terrorist side. So obviously, that would be the prerogative for these teams once they win the knife round.
Yeah, although, I mean, on compLexity side, both their win rates on both sides of the map are below 50%, so that's a little bit scary. They're 1-2 in the last 3 months on Overpass. They lost to Liquid at the Cluj North American qualifier and Winter Fox and Sivo. They did beat CLG on it 16-10, which is a good result, but sitting at 1-2, that's can't inspire too much confidence. On the other hand, Luminosity, they're 7-2 in the past 3 months. They beat Kinguin, they beat CLG, I mean, they beat Liquid, they beat Method. So, I mean, they just have a much better resume on this map. So, definitely the favorites are the Brazilians coming into this matchup.
Yeah, and I'd say it'd pretty much be a unanimous decision across the board that people would favor the Luminosity side because of their experience and their ability on this map. Obviously, the record shows, 7-2 in the last 3 months, playing against teams like Kinguin, playing against teams like CLG, and being able to get those wins. That's obviously bodes well for them in the long run. So we'll see if they can continue to put it all together. I believe we're just waiting on the LG coach to hop in here, and I believe we're missing Valens as well. So that's the reason for the little bit of a delay here. I don't know if DJ or Prius wants to switch us over to the end game so you can see these guys shoot each other for a little bit, and we can continue to talk about some of the upcoming matches as well.
What, you feeling a little bit camera shy today, Mega Man?
No, man.
You don't want to be seen?
I'm just mad that you wore your Twitch hoodie and I hadn't gotten mine yet, so poo-poo on you.
How you like them apples?
It's all your fault, really. But
I wasn't going to wear it, but I knew you didn't get yours yet, so I kind of just wanted to really
you suck. All right.
Stick a dagger in the back.
Great! It's good to know we're a team. Here comes the knife round, though, boys. LG going to be on the CT side. Just to start this one out, there's the first blood. Semphis going to draw one. Valens and Sanks as well. This is not going well for LG at all. Fallen, he's going to pick up a couple, but that's all he's going to get, and that's going to be compLexity picking up that knife round, and we'll see what they decide to do. Most likely going to be going over to that CT side, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So we will see compLexity starting on the CT side. That's Valens, Automatic, Sanks, Semphis, and Roka, facing off against Luminosity's terrorist side. That's Cold, Bolts, Fur, Steel, and Fallen.
Yeah, and this is going to be a tall test, but I mean, they're starting on that CT side. You mentioned this map does tend to be a little bit more CT sided, but compLexity is going to have to find a way to put some pressure on this offense early, keep them away from the bomb sites at the start of the round. You know, really have a presence in bathrooms and not get punished for it before. I mean, they can't give Luminosity too much space to execute onto these bomb sites.
And then one of the biggest factors is you said that there's sub 50% win rate on both sides of this map, and already it's not off to a good start as Sanks is going to come under fire from the subway. Fur takes him down, as well as Roka falling over at B. And already a stream of Luminosity players flooding over in that area. But look at Automatic. He's actually got the flanks, or pardon me, that Symphysis is on a big flank as well. Automatic, I think, is over in that area as well. So two players just pushing all the way through the A bomb site, going to be able to find some success over towards B. But that bomb is rotated all the way back over towards the A bomb site. Fallen's going to be planting that behind the double stack boxes there and going back towards the bank side. So it's going to be a 3-on-4 retake situation. And look at how far back Fur is playing right now. He is just waiting for Automatic. Going to catch him in the back here in just a second. Taps him away. Symphysis is going to be the saving grace at this point. He's looking for the headshot here on a Cold. He's going to get it. So he's down into a 2 versus 1, but he's got to ace this in order to win. And that bomb has been ticking for a while, and he doesn't have a kit. So this is probably just going to be, let me try to get some exit kills at this point, try to stack up a little bit of bank moving into this anti-eco round.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. compLexity gets aggressive over towards A. They actually have a really nice, quick flank coming around, but they lost so many players over at B that the flank doesn't have time to come to fruition. And then at that point, I mean, compLexity just doesn't have the intel. They feel they're dedicated to B, and Luminosity slips right through that flank, right through the crack, and just goes up the stairs straight into the A bomb site. So pretty much a default easy win there for Luminosity, just based off the strategy that was called and the kills they got. So going forward, you see Luminosity, I mean, they're not messing around. They go for the MAC-10s. They just want to blow some people up. They're going to do a little bit of farming.
You got to get that bank established early on this one, especially with the less expensive rifles on the terrorist side. And they're going to get a golden opportunity here because one of the players from compLexity is actually dropped from the server. So it's actually Valens that drops from the server. So they're going to get a 4v5 for this anti-eco. Valens does get back in, but it's too late. He's not going to be around for this one. And there's little bit of scout action there.
He's just keeping like an extra 600 out of the hands of Luminosity. Drops. He's like, no bonus money for you.
There you go. That's the new meta. Everybody reconnect into the anti-eco round and they get no extra money for it.
So either way, Fur gets that easy kill with that MAC-10, and look at Roka. He's got a Zeus here. This door opens. I mean, he's playing a dangerous game. He gets hit with a flashbang. He's completely blind and can't pull out that Zeus quick enough, so he gets taken out by a flying MAC-10. And now Sanks and Symphysis are just chilling in this A bomb site, hoping and praying that someone comes to him, but it's not going to be.
Yeah, the only player likely to even encroach on that position would be Cold, who's playing so far back it doesn't even matter at this point. But now it's going to be Bolts getting aggressive here in the B halls, looking for that corridor pick down towards the A bomb site. But he's even going to back off a little bit here, not going to really risk too much. And Sanks is probably going to get blown up in a second here as he is working his way up. Let's see where he decides to go as Bolts still working his way, checking all his angles. He's got Symphysis right around the corner, going to spot him out. Symphysis pops a shot, and no damage to be dealt there, but we are going to see a couple of the players here from compLexity trying to save these pistols, but Cold coming around finally makes his presence known at long A, and that is going to be Symphysis down and out at this point, and that's, here comes the push. Bolts, is he going to get there in time? Oh, he did! Takes down Sanks in the long run, and that's going to be, I think, Bolts actually picked up 2 there, so that was an extra $1,200 for him.
Yeah, and crucially, Symphysis, he didn't buy any, or they didn't invest in any armor across the board. So Symphysis with those 3 kills in the pistol round, he's got $3,700 right now. So he's going to be fine to pick up that AWP going forward into the 4th round. A lot of times that'll get negated if you buy that armor and buy some nades in the 2nd or 3rd round. But Symphysis is sitting pretty to bring that out immediately, and Automatic getting aggressive. He gets dropped by Cold. There's just more money in the bank.
Yeah, and like you said, exactly that situation. They're just going for the farm, trying to get as much money as they possibly can in these opening rounds, and they're doing a pretty solid job. You can see a couple of their players up over $5,000, and finally a peek out, but Cold's going to find a second one this round, and not a lot of damage being dealt either. He's got one more player to beat, and he gets him as well, so that's $1,800 now in Cold's pocket this round alone.
Yeah, that's just sickening. He's going to have so much money. He's almost up at 6K. He's at 5,700, and he's still hunting. He's still going for it. So there's Valens inside this bomb site. He gets taken out by Fur. Roka's all that's left. No armor, just a 5-7, doing a little bit of gliding on the wall. But this is Luminosity. These two eco rounds, they haven't lost a single member yet. So this is really, really well done on their part. They don't lose. They don't have to rebuy any armor whatsoever. And they've got 2 players, 9,000, 9,500, and that's just sick.
And here's the interesting side. Let's see how many of them actually upgrade from those AKs, or upgrade from those SMGs. And you can see 2 AKs getting purchased up here by Cold and Bolts. Fur yet to buy anything, as well as Steel and Fallen. So it looks like they're just going to run with a 2-rifle setup this round. So a very bold play here from Luminosity. We'll see how it pans out here, but I like it. I really do, because especially with them pushing towards the B-bomb site this fast, they're going to be able to get those SMGs up in their face, but there's one of the rifles already down and out. You can see the smokes raining on in. We've got a one-way smoke here from Roka. That's beautifully positioned, and he's going to be able to drop one. Looking for the second, he's going to be able to get that as well. So a great job from Roka playing for barrels, and that's going to leave those last 2 players as Valens cleans up Bolts. The last one's Fur, as he drops his MAC-10, and he's going to go for the 5.7 only.
Yeah, this is actually, brutal. Automatic jumps up, spots Fur, and just spams him through, so barely any damage dealt whatsoever from Luminosity. And that's huge, because compLexity actually didn't have head armor that round. So, I mean, that MAC-10 and that ump, and that could have done severe damage if that just comes through and gets a nice lucky headshot while moving. But either way, I mean, the point of not upgrading too many weapons there is that they can deal some damage without investing any more money, and it doesn't pan out for them. Now, they still have so much of a bank that it's going to be another buy. Fallen, we've seen what kind of a beast he can be with the AWP lately. He's going to be going up against Sempus, and this is where compLexity was at their best last night. With this AWP, Sempus able to get some picks on the defensive side and just eventually win out these advantageous defensive situations.
Well, we'll see how they do this round. Is Roka much different position here? He's just going to a little bit of a headshot angle there, looking the backside of the stripper pole. But it's going to be a full buy round, a full arsenal on both sides. Obviously, Sempus. Oh, there it is. Nice bait and switch from his teammate, popping the door open, and he's just going to be able to fire freely onto Fur. Wow, a little alliteration there for you. We're going to be seeing that man advantage go the way of compLexity to start off the 5th round here, and I really like that play. Obviously, a little bit of teamwork going down, and that was nice.
Yeah, that was really cool. Sempus just chilling and lets his teammate open the door for him. But just another situation now where Luminosity in a 4-on-5, 3 members working their way up long. But here's this defense. I said compLexity was going to have to be able to put some pressure on Bathroom. Sempus is going to get to that battle with Fallen towards long. That's an op versus op. Neither of them find anything there, so they just fall away just a little bit.
And that's a pretty expected battle for us to be seeing throughout this matchup. And Sempus obviously staying very mobile with that scoped rifle. Going to be over that B-bomb site to get the early pick. Going to be all the way back over towards the A-bomb site this time. Goes for the spam through the smoke, and he rips Bolts in the mouth. Cold's going to be able to get the saving grace kill onto Sanks as they try to make their way in to get this plant. And Cold on the edge of this smoke. He is trying to get the plant down, and he does manage to get it in. And they're going to be falling all the way back towards the bathroom side. So now the tables turn a little bit more here, and now we're going to see compLexity on the offensive trying to get into there and get that bomb plant, or a bomb defuse, pardon me, but it is going to be an aggressive push out here from Automatic. He's going to be able to find first blood. He's going to go for a little bit of a pre-fire, and Sempus finds Cold. That's going to be another one on the board for him, and Fallen sure to fall here in a second. That bomb gets defused anyway, and Fallen, he's going to pick up a couple more before he goes down here in the end, as Valens sweeps him under the rug. 2-3, compLexity chipping back into this one.
Yeah, but Fallen makes it pretty expensive there, getting 3 kills at the end, so it brings it down into a 1-on-1 despite the fact that he can't win the round. Valens makes a good play there to spray him down at the end, salvage the AWP, so there's not one in Fallen's hands, but Sempus does have his, and that was actually a pretty clever plant spot. Cole just not even committing into the bomb site, so when they're trying to spam through the smoke, the angle's a little bit different, so they get the plant down, pretty much all they could have asked for in that situation when it was in a 3-on-5.
But again, we're going to be seeing another buy round come out from the Luminosity side. They're going to test their might over at the B-bomb site once again this round. The Molotov's raining on in, and Roka, he's not going to waste any time. Drops the bomb carrier, drops a second one before Steel can retort onto him as he takes Cold down as well. And Valens playing between these 2 smokes. He's going to find one more before Steel again avenges his teammate. Now that nade comes down from heaven, and there's the AWP from Sempus. He's looking at the backside of the stripper pole, trying to find Steel. He knows that he's back there, but he's not going to be able to find him just yet. And Sanks is actually going to peek out, spots the gun barrel, and drops the Molotov to boot.
Yeah, the scary part is Sempus knows he has the bomb down in the open. He's just scoped on it right now. Steel's got to take this battle with Sanks and try and find it. Gonna throw out a Molotov, and Sempus actually falls back to chuck a nade, so he doesn't have sights on the bomb. But meanwhile, Automatic's pushing the water. This is going to be so difficult for the Luminosity players. Sempus tries to time one, but it just barely misses, and this is where Automatic chooses to pounce. He comes up, but they're not committing to any fights. This is really good. They're just stalling this out, buying time for Sempus to find the angle. Now Steel does return that kill, down to a 1-on-2. But this is looking so unlikely for Steel at the moment. compLexity just ready to go, and the spam deals so much damage. Steel down so incredibly low. Not many options left for him here, although he does get a nice headshot.
I was just about to say, he gets a nice headshot. Not going to be able to swing on Automatic, who does peek a little bit wider than I would have thought that he would, especially with 15 seconds and no bomb plan at the time. But Steel with a big round. He picks up his first 4 kills of the match, and it almost comes in an ace round for the win for the Luminosity side. But compLexity even things back up, and for the first time in this matchup, they're going to break the bank of Luminosity. It comes in the 7th round, so we're going to see a save. They're going to buy up a couple of armor as well, but it's going to be predominantly Tech 9s, 1 P250 on Steel. And we'll see where they decide to send their forces this time, because they're not having much luck at that B-bomb site.
I haven't much luck anywhere. I mean, they have yet to have a gun round where they've gotten the first kill in it. So this defense from compLexity after that pistol round has really shown itself up, and they're finding all the advantages. Sank sprays one down. He's got Fur up close, and he clotheslines him as well, but Bolts trades it out.
Nice shot from Simpus, though. He misses the the AWP shot, switches over to the P2000, and just eliminates Bolts immediately. That's going to leave it all on Fallen and Steel. No rifles picked up for the Luminosity side. And there you go, pushing the smoke. Automatic punishes Fallen, and it's all down to Steel.
What you got for us, Steel? P250 by the door. He's got armor. He could. Yeah, I mean, there's not really too much he can do. He has the bomb at least, but he's going to have to just come up with some amazing shots. If he can just even force, I know it sounds small, but even just force the rebuy of armor. I mean, the compLexity money, you can see it. You know, they haven't won these last 2 rounds by very much. It's come down to some one-on-ones, so their economy is so hurt right now that any damage Steel can do here is a win.
He's going to get an opportunity here as Simphis playing relatively aggressive from the backside of Bathrooms. And he's going to... Did he spot his shoulder? I don't think he did, but Simphis right around the corner, and he spots him. Not going to get the shot off in time, though. Simphis takes him down with the no-scope, and that's going to be a 4-3. compLexity in the lead now for the first time in this matchup, and we should be right back on the bye for Luminosity.
Yeah, here's the question. How are they going to neutralize... I mean, Simphis early with us, AWP has gotten 2 opening kills in 2 rounds. Roku got the other opening. So they need to win an initial battle. If they're going to play this slow kind of tactics, they need to find an opening pick and then be able to slow the round down, spread out those rotations. And they really need to manipulate, you know, weaker defenses on these bomb sites by getting in a first pick. But haven't been successful with it. Now, everyone going towards this B bomb site, it's just a flat-out rush. And Roka's right position, but he gets eliminated.
They spotted Automatic up in heaven as well, but they're not accounting for the Barrels player, and that's going to be Valence going big with 2 P90 frags, and he's going to be looking for more, but Simphis from the backside coming down through the subway is going to be able to find Fallen in the back, and that's going to leave it all on Cold. So the stalwart defense here at this B-bomb site has been vicious so far for compLexity, and Sank should be able to clean up Cold here on the flank from outside of Monster. He's looking for Cold's back, and he should be able to find him here if he does go for the peek. Cold playing this one very, very slowly, 1v3. But it's just going to be down to a matter of time, and he's still creeping on up, and Sank's still not peeking here, so Cold's got a little bit of an opportunity to maybe try to neutralize 1 or 2 more players. Nope! Automatic. Going to hit the headshot. 5-3 now for compLexity.
That's actually a really smart play from Sanks to not even try and peek that, because all he's doing is containing that last player. They know exactly where he's at. They know he's got to force his way to the bomb site, and he's got to make the move. And he knows the only way that his team can lose a 3-on-1 is if they give him, you know, 1-on-1 battles. And he's the player who's alone. He has 2 teammates in the site ready to pounce, ready to use some teamwork to eliminate Cold. And if he gives up that 1-on-1 battle and dies, all of a sudden there's a new avenue to win that round for Cold. So he just plays it safe. Good play.
So again, we're going to see another force up here from Luminosity. 2 Galils and a Tech 9. Well, 3 Galils and a Tech 9. Only AK is going to be on the back of Steel. They need to be able to make something happen here. They're going to leave Steel over here by this B-bomb site to try to lurk something out and watch for a push. He's not going to spot anything just yet, but that push is going to be coming through Bathrooms. They're going to be coming up on long A, and this is going to be Simphis right around the corner. He's going to miss the shot. Cold can punish him here, but he doesn't hit the shot just yet. There it is. Second whiff for Reno from Simphis, and Cold takes him down. Got another player that's spotting out towards that area, and that's going to be Fallen actually picking up an AWP, but Automatic capitalizes on Fur over at that B-bomb site. And, pardon me, I believe that was in Bathrooms, actually.
Yes, it was. Fur was swinging out to try and grab the angle on that fallback, and Automatic just eliminates him. And now, I mean, there's no map control for Luminosity. They've got to, they're kind of waiting here. Steel's over at the B bomb site. They're waiting for him to make some noise. See if he can find a pick. He knows he's got a 1-on-1 at this bomb site, and there's Valence jumping out of the window. It's immediately traded off, but this should be a signal. This hit needs to come in quickly from Luminosity.
Yeah, but quickly, it doesn't look like it's in their repertoire right now, and they're going to get peeked out. Double peek from Bathroom. Sanks is going to capitalize on the damage that Automatic did, and he's going to be able to find another one as Automatic, and him just going to work right now at Bathrooms, and Sanks locking it down. 3K for him on the round. 6-3 now. compLexity just giving it to Luminosity on these gun rounds.
Yeah, that time it came down to the fact that Luminosity didn't have any map control whatsoever. They had 3 players at long and 1 over towards B, so they had no control of bathrooms. compLexity had it. It was all theirs. So when Luminosity does want to switch up their position, they do want to fall back into bathrooms and get a new angle on the site, the positioning for compLexity is just too strong. And now, just with how crushed they've been getting, this is 6 rounds straight for compLexity. And despite some, one-on-ones, it really hasn't seemed, too probable for Luminosity in a lot of these rounds. So they're a little bit confused on what's happening right now. They're going to take a timeout, talk some things over.
And rightfully so. I mean, still 5 rounds left to play in this first half. They're going to be able to try to get their stuff straight here because a 12-3 half for compLexity would be monstrous here. And that would not give, I mean, this is... We already touched on the fact that on Overpass they've got less than a 50% win rate on both sides. If they can get to that magical 8 and win the half, I mean, obviously that trumps that, and they're already doing a pretty substantial job. They should be able to get maybe another round out of this, but it is going to be a bye LG. They're not going to save this one. I thought maybe we might see some Tech 9s and armor come out, but they're going to go for the 4 Galils this time in the AK on Fur. And really, honestly, Fur needs to start stepping up a little bit. He's kind of underperforming to what we usually expect him to do, as well as Bolts. And Cold's doing relatively well, but really on the other side, it's Automatic and Simphis that have been doing work here.
Let's be honest. Everyone needs to step up on this Luminosity team. They're not finding very many kills. They're not winning any early battles whatsoever. compLexity is just completely outplaying them right now on an individual level. So everyone on the side of Luminosity needs to find some way to have success in this matchup. And once again, they're keeping it slow. They've tried a B-rush. That didn't pan out whatsoever. So they go right back to these more tactical, slow-paced rounds.
And again, they keep Steel over lurking towards Monster this round. Bolts and Cold are going to be trying to infiltrate in towards that bathroom hallway, going towards long A, and Automatic is playing kind of an aggressive angle with the bait and switch for Simphis. If Simphis misses the shot, that might bait him to push in and give him a free kill or two, but we're still patiently waiting to see this push come out. The bomb is dropped all the way back at Party, so map control trying to be taken here by Luminosity as they work their way towards A, and still no commotion over towards the B bomb site. As you can see, Steel just still sitting outside of Monster, not popping any shots just yet, not making any noise whatsoever. Roka's going to burn a flash over towards Short. He does drop a flashbang for his teammate to come out through Squeaky, and it's going to be a hit towards the B bomb site coming around from Subway. And this is good because this time they can actually be a little bit more aware of any kind of a flank coming out from that A bomb site. You can see actually Bolt's pushed all the way up. Look at this. He might be able to walk all the way into this A bomb site for free, but he's got to watch his back as well because look at this Automatic coming around from behind, and he capitalizes on getting Bolts from behind. So now he's going to come all the way down towards Subway and try to pinch these 2 players that are still over in this area, and he's going to find Fur, gets the shot, and Automatic again this round starting off very strong here for the compLexity side.
And Roka pushes through the smoke. He finds an easy kill on a Steel, and there's Fallen right at the end. He's going to drop an Automatic with 3 kills on that flank. Good play from him. And out of that pause, Luminosity has nothing. They run the clock down so low. And it's a really awkward hit out of the B bomb site where, once again, no kills go their way. So compLexity just playing this style of not giving up any frags to players like Fur, to players like Fallen, who we know have the skill to just pick people off, and they're not giving up anything. So Luminosity now in a lot of trouble with no pause left for the entire match. They're down 7-3, and they have no answer for this.
And Automatic really stepping up here in the last couple of rounds. We've seen him, Sank's got the 3K, but it was pretty much all assists there as Valen's going to stab his teammate in the back at the beginning of this round, but baiting out a nade and a Molotov, and Valen's actually throwing his smoke, so he's down to just a flashbang already in this round, but full nade kits for the remainder of his team. And Fallen already up on Short B. Look at this. He's very aggressive already into this round as he's looking for that pick down towards Monster side, and Roka playing behind Stripper Pole, and Valen's over by Barrels. So if he gets this peek out, and if he times this properly, he might just be able to walk right in on him because nobody's watching for this.
I like to see this as well. They need to pick up the pace just a little bit, find some ways to apply some pressure. Before this, all these rounds are getting to sub 1 minute before Luminosity makes any kind of a move whatsoever. And if they're going to play these slow-paced styles and they want to have an execute, they need to have the intel to know where to do it from. And with no one grabbing that intel, no one trying to take a fight, it's just not going to happen. But Fallen, he's just going to walk in here. He's going to get that first kill, but he's not aware there's one more right around the pole just dancing. That's Roka. Is he going to be ready for this? He's throwing some nades out, and there's Roka. He swings out at the right moment. Now his position's given up, but he does find Fallen anyways. Swings out, grabs the second one. Great defense from Roka, and now he can just hide in the water pit, hold that control. Simphis on the rotate, grabbed one, and Roka still going. And Simphis with a second one just shuts everything down.
Yeah, compLexity, ever since losing the pistol round, have just been coming out swinging, and they look extremely good right now on their CT side. Roka locking it down from the B-bomb site, playing that one extremely intelligently. I mean, just like you said, the whole bait and switch, working his way around that pole. He gave up his position right there, but he swings on him so many different times. They don't know which direction he's going to be coming from. Fallen misses a crucial shot, and his teammate gets taken out for the pays the price for it as well. So good job from Roka holding that bomb site pretty much solo.
Yeah, it was really, really cool how he used that pillar as cover. Just found some one-on-ones on either side, and now we have Sanks under some pressure. He gets dinked. There's a first kill for Luminosity.
It's the first time we've seen an opening frag go the way of Luminosity, but look at this. They slow the pace down. They're going to work their way all the way back towards the subway side, actually going all the way back towards terrorist spawn, not even jumping down into the subway. And you can see Valens and Roka still holding stalwart on this B-bomb site, so they're not giving up any positioning right now here on the compLexity side. You can see Automatic getting aggressive on long A, and with the support from Symphys as well. They've kind of given up bathroom control, but that doesn't really matter because LG is working their way towards the B-bomb site.
Yes, they are, and it's Valens and Roka. I mean, they're playing this very similar style, even a man down, just not committed to holding the bomb site, just holding water, playing at some far away positions so those rifles can come into effect.
And here we go. Here comes the push out. The smoke comes into the site. Now Roka, he's going to adjust his aim real quick, but he's not able to get it done. Fur takes him down. Valens by himself is going to have to lock this one down. Not going to be able to find that pit player just yet. That's cold in that area. And look at this, LG just vacating that bomb site. They might be able to get the flank here onto Automatic. The flashbang comes over the top. Nice job, and there it is. Steel with a Wandig onto Automatic takes him down. And still spamming away. It's going to be Steel or Cold from the pit. Gets taken down from Valens. Symphys going to come in with the 5-7. Able to find another one. It's down to a 2v2, but Fallen is there. And Symphys comes down to a 1v1 in the long run, but Steel gets it done. Luminosity finally able to win a round, and it comes on an eco.
Yeah, that's the funny part, right? Because they've just been completely shut down when they have AKs and even this AWP that we see Fallen pick up. But that round with the Tech 9s and the Deagles and just the upgraded pistols, they pull one out. I mean, that time compLexity just wasn't able to get those kills at the end of the bomb site, so it just makes that spot of holding water right behind the site so much more, so much more easy for Luminosity to just swarm it with the pistols. But now we see a change up. Symphys is going to push down these stairs with the AWP, and Fur's there. He grenades it, but he's not ready for that peek. Symphys eliminates him from the round.
So as good as the last round looked for Luminosity getting that early pick, they're going to get traded immediately out right after that round is all said and done as Symphys able to find opening blood here. And there's actually 4 players over in this. Actually, all 5 players from compLexity are over here in this B-bomb site. Kind of a crazy little pre-stack over there at the B-bomb site to start things off.
Oh,
and Roka,
Anders is going to be so happy to see that boost. He's been preaching about that boost for so long, and we've seen it a couple times, but he loves it whenever that trick's brought out.
Well, it works, and Symphys and Fallen going to go to battle here by Monster, and Symphys wins it. So 2 frags on the round for him. Roka's going to be able to find that other one, and it's going to be down to Bolts and Cold as they try to make their way in towards this A-bomb site with a couple of flimsy smokes being tossed out here from the compLexity side, but it's going to be enough to hold him back. Cold already swinging out. He might be able to find Sanks here playing behind Optimus, and he does. There's the trade. An Automatic. He's not done yet. He's going to go for the repeak. Can he take down the last player in Bolts? There's the Molotov to the backside. And a nade to follow. And Bolts. Valen's going to clean him up, but Bolts taking a tremendous amount of damage from Automatic before all is said and done.
Yeah, now the economy gets reset, at least the losing bonus, but with the fact that they won an eco round and with the fact that they get a plan here, this might be a force buy situation for Luminosity. They might just want to go for it. Steel's at 4,600 before he even gets more money for this next round, so looking at the economy as we move forward, looks like actually they are just going to choose out. Nope, here's the force buy. Steel picks up an AK, Fur's got the Galil, and they've got 3 Tech 9s beside it, so that is just enough money, they feel, to have a good shot at winning this round. But either way, I mean, they have to neutralize the early kills, because Symphys getting that pick onto Fur and then that boost over on short to get one more kill. I mean, they get some nice trades coming. They get a nice trade coming into that A-bomb site, but when they're already down 2 players, you can't just be happy with trades.
No, not at all. And here you go. Automatic already behind the squeaky door. He's looking for some action over in that area, and he's going to have 4 players here from the terrorist side down there. And there's the peek out there, doing a lot of spamming, trying to find the damage onto him. They get him down to 28. And then all said and done, here comes a nade over the top. Automatic, he's not done just yet. There it is. Symphys going to come under fire. And maybe a second one for Fallen as well. And he gets both players over there in Subway. Good job from him. But a little bit of damage has been done on both sides here as a nade comes out. Not going to find any damage onto Roka, who's playing relatively passive over there. And Cold down to 4 HP. Really turtled up now here on the terrorist side of Luminosity as they try to wait for any of these peaks to come out.
And then, well, this is the thing too, because once again, they have no map control over towards bathrooms, over towards long A, so they don't really feel like they can fall back. But with a man advantage, they can run the clock down. They can, they've forced Valens to rotate over towards the A bomb site just to be a little bit honest. But they're sticking all around the B site. So Roka's, once again, he's going to have a lot of work to do, and he's pushed up over towards Monster all solo.
Yeah, but this isn't a bad position for him to be in. He's working his way back towards this smoke. He's actually going to fall all the way back towards water side. No, he pushes back. Oh, I thought he was going to risk it and push back on through that smoke, but he might be able to neutralize a 1v1, but Steel is going to be there to help his teammate out. The bomb is going to get planted here in this B bomb site, and it's going to be a 2-on-4 retake for compLexity. They've got the money in the bank, so there's no reason not to go for this one right now. As you can see, it's just Valens and Sanks left alive in this situation. They're going to be looking to do a little bit of damage here onto the Luminosity side. Bolts with a very passive setup on short. He's got teammates to assist as well in that area, and it's going to be Valens coming all the way around. He's pre-firing down in the water, not going to find anything in that area as very passive post-plant positions here from Luminosity, and this is going to pay off for him in the long run because they are going to walk away and put their 5th round on the board coming into the final round. And again, it comes on a very unlikely buy from them.
Yeah, and it comes also on the fact that, this is the round where, even with Automatic getting that first round, they're able to neutralize that early round aggression from compLexity. They take those 2 kills out in the stairwell, and from there they can just, slowly kind of strangle the life out of compLexity as that round goes on. Just use the timer as an extra man, and it's just such an advantage on their side. So, what looked so dire for a good stretch of this half, now Luminosity has turned into, 5 rounds, and that's definitely doable for him. So this is really well put together despite, massive struggles where they lost 7 rounds straight. 8 rounds straight, excuse me.
So 9-5, Luminosity, they got to feel a little bit more confident with the way that this half has turned out. Obviously, getting 5 rounds is not a bad start. There's the trades coming out, and Fur and Bolt's going to go to work here. Sanks and Automatic both down. Simpus finds one with the deagle, but Bolt's is there for the trade, and now the rotation is on. Roka has an auto sniper, so not a very good weapon to have for a retake here towards the A bomb site, but look at this. They're falling back all the way to B, and let's see if they read this properly on compLexity's side, because no push in towards that bomb site. Roka looking like he wants to feint back towards this B bomb site, and that's exactly what he's going to do, and if he goes and plays from the heaven spot, he might be able to find some serious damage onto these players coming in towards B. But he drops into water, going to work his way back over, Molotov to drop. And let's see what he's got. He's going to go for the peak. He's going to do some serious damage on the bolts, the nade to follow as well, and that's going to find a little bit extra damage there. But now he's going to be able to alert his teammate that, hey, there's a hell of a lot of players over here. I'm probably going to need your help.
And Valens flanks down in the sewers to the door, but Roka still with this auto sniper. This is a tough spot. A nice headshot. He tags one more. He sprays down Steel, and it's just Bolts left, who is already tagged. There's the flank from Valens coming into play. A nice defensive recovery after that initial aggression goes completely in the way of Luminosity.
So compLexity going to take the lead at halftime. 10-5 is your scoreline, and we'll see them on their terrorist side, see if they can continue to lock things down. But Luminosity, obviously with a lot of force buys in that first half, maybe they felt a little bit, comfortable with the scoreline that they have. Maybe they're relying on their comfort of their CT side. And we'll have to see that here because this is a very crucial pistol round. If compLexity win this, they could be up to 13 rounds very, very quickly.
Yeah, and you can see how important the pistol round is. On the T side especially, where Luminosity was largely shut out. They only won 2 gun rounds. Their other 3 came from the pistol and the ensuing eco. So without that pistol round and those eco round wins, they would have been in almost an unwinnable situation.
Oh, and Fur already gooshed down to 20 HP. He went for the aggressive push towards Fountain, spotted a whole herd of terrorists from compLexity pushing their way out towards that area, and now they got to deal with a player already down to 20 HP. Is Fur going to play a very passive-aggressive setup here, and Fallen going to take a peek towards long A, spots 3 of them pushing, and this is going to be a very tough hold here now for the LG side. As you can see, Fallen's going to get tapped away. Valens with that Tech 9 is going to do work, and now the bomb plan is coming in, and Fur goes down. Simpus continuing to dominate from that first half, and Sanks is in a great position here to find Bolts. He does a little bit of damage, going to go for the repeat and gets the headshot. Roka as well, and Steel, your last man standing, P2000 in hand, but he has got a full lineup here from compLexity to deal with, and he's not even going to get anything as Simpus and Sanks lock it down, and compLexity pick up the second half pistol to put themselves up by a 6-score lead.
Yeah, it came down a lot to early damage once again for compLexity. They goosh Fur right off the bat when he gets aggressive, and then when he falls back into the A site, he basically just has to turtle behind Optimus. And, Fallen's fighting over towards long, but Fur can't do anything. He can't get aggressive because one bullet's going to take him out, so he's just trying to hide and get one gimmick kill before he falls. And with no support, I mean, that was just a very aggressive pistol run out of complexity. It goes their way. Now we see a second round force-up. Steel's got a shotgun and a Zeus, and then there's 3 members. Only Fallen is basically salvaging any money for that AWP going into the 4th round.
Yeah, and a heavy stack towards the B bomb site here from the LG side as well. You can see just an aggressive position from Fur. He's got the CZ, but he's going to be able to hear a lot of footsteps coming in towards this A bomb site, and he's got to, well, he's going to have his hands full. Gets a nice shot there onto Sanks. He's going to go for the spray down onto Simphis, but he's not going to be able to make it happen. Now the rotation is on, and you can see they're doing a little bit of damage here to these players, but complexity going to lock it down. Roka and Automatic going to chime in with a couple themselves, and that's going to leave it on a 4v2. Cold looking for something. And even that Nova not going to be able to find anything. Automatic cleans up Cold. 12-5 now for complexity. It happened in a flash.
Yeah, they did some good damage, just couldn't clean anything up. So, you know, I mean, now complexity just with a huge advantage. This is going to be a full save out of Luminosity. They do not even, I think they upgraded 1 pistol that's on bolts. Nope, he still has a P2000. Those icons screw me up sometimes, the P250. But either way, this is a good chance for complexity. I mean, they didn't even take very much damage in that round. So if they can get another round like that, have some economy, then, I mean, that's just one way they can win out the match. If they don't win it outright, they can just choke off the money situation and just win some rounds where Luminosity won't have the nades to utilize.
So this is really where we get to see whether or not Warden's strat calling from the back lines is going to be beneficial to them. Obviously, they're going to turtle up a little bit here because they are playing against the anti-eco. They can hear Steel. Actually, Simphis is going to hear Steel running around. And now they're going to completely vacate this B bomb site, and that's going to be the wrong call on Luminosity's side. They've only got 1 player left over here that's Fallen, pushing very aggressive. Cold finds Valens over at A. That's going to be the only player that they find. And now the push comes in towards B. And this is exactly what you kind of harped on in the first half, about how LG would get a pick on the opposite bomb site, force the rotation, and they just sit in the backside of bathrooms at A rather than pushing on in and trying to take the fights. Complexity wasting no time getting into B.
Yeah, the Dean, Warden, Coach Dean makes a really solid call there, just kind of reads it perfectly, and he's got to be happy about this scoreline so far. It's going to be a 13th round for complexity, barring a miracle retake. There are no kits, so all that LG can really hope for here is some damage. They're going to have to clear out water. There's Roka, sprays 1 down. Cold grabs him, though. Not able to salvage the AK-47 in time, and from there it's just a mop. Automatic grabs 2, Cephas grabs 1 of his own. Another solid round for complexity moving forward, 13-5 into the first gun round.
Fallen going to pick up the AWP immediately going into this round. Valens is going to be on a rebuy. Let's see if he buys an AWP and drops it to Simphis, because Simphis can just throw him over the AK. So that's probably a little bit of the discussion. No, he's just going to go for the AK. So complexity going to go for the full automatic rifle buy here. Steel going to be on a FAMAS. He did go a little bit aggressive with that Nova buy a couple of rounds ago. You can see Fur actually playing with the Zeus and an M4, so maybe see a little bit of Zeus action. But he's going to be aggressive on bathrooms. Not going to find anything in that area. It's just going to be a pretty aggressive push coming towards that B bomb site. Automatic taking some spam damage down to 60 HP. And look at this, actually not even favoring that M4A4 on the CT side whatsoever. Talking about the LG squad, so Steel going to be playing behind this smoke and water pit. He's looking for something. Roka's going to be pushing on up here, and he might get the shot off. He's still looking for him. They actually pass each other through there because of a flash, and Roka should be able to get his back. There it is. Steel is going to be able to find Simphis, but Roka's there for the trade. Still looking for another one, but Roka is going to take the initiative, finds Bolts, and this is crumbling for LG. There's not a lot that they can do here because this turtled up position now for the complexity side. Spotting out the shoulder of Sanks in the bomb site. Not going to be able to find it, but Fallen walls him down. And now Roka from the pit, he falls to Cold, so the retake is on. It's a man advantage now coming towards the LG side. Automatic coming around from Monster is going to be looking for one, but Fallen goes down. Still looking for the defuse. They haven't gotten on it just yet. And there it is. Valens is going to be able to find one, and Cold goes down, so complexity salvage it anyway.
Yeah, doubled up over towards Monster. Luminosity was not ready for Valens to come out after his teammate fell. Either way, the damage is done there by Roka. I mean, getting into pit like that, even though he misses the first guy, he trades him off, and then just holding that position, it's such a difficult spot to clear out. CTs eventually do get him, but just some nice post-plant play there from complexity, which is really, really good to see. So Luminosity now it's really dire. Now it's turned into a little bit of a stomp. I mean, that was the round. They had to get that one to kind of try and go in and run on their own defensive half, much like complexity did, but only a scout on Fallen, some upgraded pistols. They've got to pull out a miracle now.
Well, we kind of saw it happen in the first half. They weren't able to win any of those gun rounds moving forward, but once they got onto the pistols, they actually found success. So maybe they'll find the same success here on this eco round, but again, it's going to be a very tall order for him. You can see Fallen's going to be working his way over towards long A to try to spot out for any of the players that are going to be over there, and Simphis with the AWP is over in that direction as well. So we could see the scout on op battle, but honestly, it's probably not going to turn out too well for Fallen in that avenue, but really slow play from compLexity, and I like this. You know, obviously they know they've reset the money, so there's no reason to force their way into any of these bomb sites immediately into the round, so doing a good job on compLexity, and it's showing 9 rounds to the good.
You know, they've just compLexity just sends Roka out on a scouting mission. He's got an AK-47. He spots the scout. He's got one over on Catwalk on short. He hasn't searched it out. That's Bolts, but Bolts hasn't been aggressive whatsoever. So Roka has actually made his way into a pretty decent position, and he's confused because he hasn't seen anyone. So you could see compLexity start to rotate back towards B, but now he spots all of them. 4 members he sees, and he knows the scout is there as well. But I mean, compLexity's rotated all the way back. They were in prime position to just take over that A bomb site so quickly, but I mean, now look, this is just a game of rotations right now. All of Luminosity evacuates the B bomb site, so now that's the site that's completely open, and compLexity's already over here, so why not? But Ferb, he gets that kill on automatic. He's got a lot more to do, and he just tries to pre-fire, doesn't land it, and Sanks opens that bomb site up.
And we'll see whether or not Sanks can continue to capitalize. They go for the boost over, and Sanks going to get the spray down plus the nade, and he's looking for 4. Not going to get it, though. Steel's going to be able to find 2 headshots, and now it's going to be Steel versus Valens. Valens did clutch out the last round 1v2, but picking up an AK now would be obviously a benefit. He does have a Molotov in hand as well, 83 HP to work with. The aim punch is going to be the factor in this one, and Valens playing an extremely passive position here around the corner. And here you go, the Molotov comes out. Going to tap the bomb, no kid. He's got really no time for this. He's going to go for the spray down, and Valens is going to clutch out another one, and that's going to be a 15th round now for compLexity as they are up by 10 and on match point.
Yeah, normally I'd be like, all right, good save, Luminosity, or a good like mini buy. You did a lot of damage. That's all well and good, but 15-5, you can't take those moral victories anymore. So now it's the last stand of the Brazilians. Fallen busts out that op one more time. But it's been all compLexity in this matchup. This is an impressive match they're putting together.
Yeah, rightfully so too. I mean, we kind of talked beforehand about compLexity and the struggles that they've had on this map, and they're showing that they are a brick wall right now on this map. So they're doing a substantial job here. Obviously, trumping Luminosity, who in the past has got a much better record against some better teams on this map.
And just a heavy play over towards the A bomb site. 4 members going towards long. 1 player control of bathrooms. Fur's pushed up in the corner. He's going to have Cold just jump spotting for him. It's going to be a pop flash play because it's usually an op in this position baiting Fur out, but Fur hears all this noise, so now he might just take the opportunity. He might feel like he needs to make a play and get aggressive. And because all of compLexity, they pushed up long, they took control, they know there's nobody there, and now they've all fallen back. So Fur's on an information gathering mission right now.
And we've seen him do this to great success in the past, especially on a map like Mirage. But this one's a little bit trickier of a map to kind of push for information on. But he's doing a great job of it so far. He's cleared out all the bathrooms. He's cleared out Party. He knows that they're not in this area, and his teammates should be able to rotate all the way back over towards the B-bomb site. But he's going to be able to catch the back of a couple of players. He lines them up. Going to be able to find the first kill and the second kill. Simphus and Valens dropped down to the floor. And here we go. Roka, Sanks, and Automatic. They're going to make the push in towards the B-bomb site. You've got Steel over here on short. What does he have for us? Sanks is going to find first blood. Steel not going to be able to line things up. A little late on that reaction, but flashbang around the corner, going to blind 2 players. The smoke comes out. He's not going to be able to find a line of sight on any of those players pushing him, but Fallen's AWP is there. Going to be able to find the first one. Cold goes down. Automatic going to find one on the Fur as well, so we're down to a 1v2 now. It's completely flipped around, and Fallen's going to be our last man standing, and he can't get it done. Roka coming up with 3 huge kills to close out the match. 16-5 is going to be your scoreline as compLexity take it to Luminosity.
Roka just beasting there at the end, and that's kind of, I mean, that's just, that last round is just how this match went for Luminosity. I mean, that was a round they had in the bag. It was theirs. They had every advantage, and the fake plant kind of lured everyone out of their position, and then Roka and Automatic just hit some really nice shots to whittle down that retake. And what a big win, 16-5. That's a very, very wide margin, very unexpected margin.
No, absolutely agree on that one. So our first match of the night goes the way of compLexity over Luminosity in a 16-5 fashion. We've got a little bit of time here before the next match starts up, so I believe we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with the next matchup, which is going to be Winter Fox versus Cloud9. And that one is going to be coming up. That's going to be on Dust 2. So looking forward to that one. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Enjoy the music, and we'll see you in a few.